Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mr. Anders here, coming to you live with a sick voice. So I apologize about my voice for today, but we're gonna have to work through it. Our objective, number one, pre-lesson learning goal. Students will be able to identify the organelles based on descriptions of their cellular function, 6 out of 8 multiple choice questions. And this begins the lesson cycle once you complete it. So in order to start this lesson cycle, you need to complete this quiz at 6 out of 8. You're going to take this quiz at Edmodo. Number two, lesson cycle learning goal. Students will be able to correctly identify the relationships between organelles and their contributions to overall cell function in 6 out of 8 multiple choice questions. Now, once you complete that, you move on to learning goal 3, and it's going to be continuing on your wiki space, but for organelles in the cell. It's a long-term learning goal. Students will create a model of a cell using a poster and cutouts correctly explaining the relationship between 5 organelles at a level 3 according to the rubric on the model and with their voice using Screencast-O-Matic and wiki spaces. So, at the end of all this, what we're working towards is being able to build and design our very own model of the cell. The standard is 1-2, develop and use a model to describe the function of a cell as a whole and the ways parts of cells contribute to the function. It's inside of your table of contents. There should be lesson 1.9, Organelle Relationships. Make sure you update that. Your homework. You need to finish your Wikispace pictures uploaded. I need that done by Thursday or Friday. And I need you to finish your Organelle packet and Organelle Relationship mandatory packet. So the packet you got with the sub and the packet you're getting from me today. And those are due at the end of the week on 9/11 and 9/12. So let's make sure we get those done. Alrighty, let's go ahead and start talking about cell membranes. So this is our first organelle. We're going to focus on the cell membrane. Before we begin, I want you to hit pause and tell me, why do you think houses need walls? Hit pause and write down your answer in a thought bubble now, because this is purple. Alright, now let's go ahead and confirm our answer by learning this lesson. Hit pause to fill in these blanks. What is a cell membrane? The cell membrane is an important organelle. It's a cell part found in every cell. The cell membrane is made out of phospholipids or fatty acids. They go by both names. Cell membrane surrounds and protects the cell, and the cell membrane is selectively permeable. And selectively permeable means that only some things can get through. Remember, it keeps the good things and bad things out. So we keep the good things in, those have to get in somehow, and it keeps the bad things out. So that's a selective permeable. Looking at these pictures, these are pictures of cells, and around every single one of these cells is a cell membrane. So when you look at all these cells, what circles them is the cell membrane. Inside some of these pictures, you can see it. So inside these cells here, the circle on the outside is the cell membrane. Inside the middle, what is it? Yep, you got it. That's the nucleus. So we got our cell membrane surrounding our cell. CFU1, what does the cell membrane do? A, make proteins. B, stores food. C, protects the cell. D, makes energy. Answer this question now. Press pause, fill in the blanks. What is a phospholipid bilayer? Cell membranes are made out of phospholipids, which are also called fatty acids. They surround the cell, and they form these double layer called a phospholipid bilayer, but you don't need to know that. All we need to know is that these little guys, this is an individual phospholipid or fatty acid. They join up together to form this outer layer of the cell, and it circles the entire cell. Here is, once again, the pictures of all the cells, and that membrane we talked about earlier is made out of, like I said, these individual phospholipids or fatty acids. What is the cell membrane made out of? A, smaller cells. B, DNA. C, proteins. Or D, fatty acids. Go ahead and answer the question now. Alright, what's the purpose of the cell membrane? The cell membrane has 3 main jobs. Number 1, it keeps good stuff in and bad stuff out. 2, it separates the cell from the outside. So it makes an inside and it makes an outside. It separates the cell from everything else. And then it protects the cell from the environment. Which of the following is not a function of the cell membrane? A. To keep good things in and bad things out. B. Protect the cell from the environment. C. Give energy to the cell. Or D. Separate the cell from other cells. So which one does the cell membrane not do? Answer the question now. This is purple. Think, pair, share. Why does your house have doors and windows and screens? What's the point of having doors and windows and screens in your house? What do they let you do? Answer that question in a thought bubble now. Fill in the blanks. What is selective permeability? This is a tough word. Selective permeability. It is the process of allowing some molecules to pass into the cell while keeping other molecules out. Remember, this is in green, so we got to box the green. Make sure we go back and box all the greens. I should have reminded you earlier. Alrighty, so selective permeability. We have proteins that act as tunnels through the cell membrane. So here's our cell membrane. Remember, each of these little guys are phospholipids that surround the cell. And then inside of there is a protein. What this protein does is allow molecules to get into the cell. Your cell needs stuff to get in, and sometimes in order for things to get in, they travel through these proteins in the cell membrane. Here's another picture. We have our protein that provides the channel or the gap into the cell that some molecules could take. And then we have our phospholipid or fatty acid bilayer that surrounds the cell. Proteins in the membrane select which large molecules come in and out. Proteins are like the doors and windows of the house, and they make the membrane selectively permeable. Just like the door allows you in, you have the key. Only certain molecules have the key to this protein to get in. Not everything could use that protein to get through. So in order to get in, you have to have the right key to get into your house. Just like for doors, you have to have the right key to get into the door. Next question. What do the proteins in the cell membrane do? A. Protects the cell membrane. B. Lets in good molecules. C. Keeps out bad molecules. Or D. Moves the cell. Alright, time to summarize the function of the cell membrane in your own words. Once again, this is purple, so at the end, make sure you put in a thought cloud and you answer these three questions. What is the main function of cell membranes? What does selective permeability mean? And what is the role of proteins in the cell membrane? Answer those questions in your notes now.